Hello, my name's Sean Rung. I'm the Communications and Partnerships Coordinator for the International Graduate Center of Education. I'm going to do a 20-minute tutorial about how to set up a Collaborate session, how to run the session, how to record the session, how to use some of the tools, and then how to convert the video once it's done, and then how to remove the video from the LearnLine site. In some cases, you won't need to remove the video, but in some cases, the students may be talking with each other, uh, in which case they may not want other students to see or hear their conversation. So first thing you want to do is launch your internet browser. I like using Firefox. And we're going to log into LearnLine. So just click on the LearnLine login in the top right hand corner. And put in your username. Now that's just your CDU login details. And once we're in here, we see my units. So these are all the units you will be enrolled in. Because I have lecturer status on most of these units, I see all the units including Medi Central, EMG 501, EMG 502, 503, all the way down to 510. So I like to use Medi Central. This is a good central site. That's what it's intended for all students to be able to use, and it's a good place to go. So we'll just go into the Medi Central, and we want to go under Communications Portals. You'll find Online Classroom. So we'll just click on that. And here we are. We are in the Blackboard Collaborate site. So this is the area where you'll find all your recordings, your scheduled sessions. You can launch a room immediately, or you can create a session. So generally people like to plan out a little bit. So if we're planning to do a session in the future, what we'll do is we'll create a session. This is usually the best way to go. So click on Create Session. And so we need to give it a name, session name, tutorial. I'll say Blackboard Collaborate. Blackboard Collaborate tutorial. That's more specific. And we'll pick a start time. So it is currently 8:46. So it automatically sets it to the next available time. So that's 9 o'clock. That's fine. 24th, that is today. And we'll make the end time. We don't need an hour. So you have to adjust the time using this slider bar here. So we'll make the time half an hour. So we'll do 9, and then minutes are done in 15-minute increments, 15, 30, 45. So we'll end it at 9:30. Okay, and we'll click done. Make sure the date's correct. That's correct. And we can repeat the session if you want to do weekly sessions. You can have it set up for 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. You can do it daily, monthly. So you can set it up so it repeats itself. You can have it so it ends after so many occurrences or on a specific date. So we'll just leave it like that every week for 4 weeks, just as an example. We'll make the early session entry 15 minutes. That's fine. Now, because it's currently 8:47 and this is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock, I'm actually able to get in because it's about 13 minutes before currently. So that's fine. We'll leave that. I like to give yourself, or I like to give myself at least 15 minutes so I can get in there, make sure everything's set up correctly. That's more for big events, but it's nice to be able to go in there, make sure everything's working correctly beforehand. So you shouldn't have to do anything with the session type. You shouldn't have to do anything with the teleconference options. Room attributes, you will need to go into this option. You can leave the recording mode as manual. That's fine. The other option is to do an automatic one, which just starts the recording as soon as you get in there. That's not necessary. Just leave it as manual. This lets you start the recording and stop the recording whenever you like. Max simultaneous talkers, you can do anywhere from 1 to 6 talkers. Max cameras 1 to 6. Again, the higher the number, the more bandwidth you're going to use, and possibly the session isn't going to run as well. So we'll just leave it as it is. View private messages, you can turn that on. All permissions, very important to turn that on. Raise hand on entry, that's not necessary. I'll show you what the raise hand on entry is. Allow in-session invites, yes, we'd like to do that. Allow guests, yes, we'll turn this on. This allows, this generates a URL which you can share with people. So I'll show you that in a little bit. Hide names and recordings, that's not necessary for now. And you can preload content. So what we want to, now PowerPoints, you can't always preload them. You can, but it's a little bit of a work. So I won't show you now, but I might do another tutorial on how to upload a PowerPoint previous to the session. However, you can, once you start the session, load a PowerPoint. So once you're in the session, you can put the PowerPoint in. It's just, for some reason, Collaborate doesn't like PowerPoint and doesn't allow it to load up previous to when the session begins. So we'll just skip over that for now. But if you have Word documents or anything like that, or videos, I'm pretty sure you can preload the content. Maybe not Word documents, I'm not sure the specifics. It does say down here what sort of file extensions are allowed. Okay, so Grade Center integration, don't need to do anything in that. Roles and access. So with this, if it's students talking to other students, I suggest you click on this. All users join as moderators. This just allows all students to access all the applications and adjust their settings appropriately. However, if lectures with students in the room, you might want to leave that off and instead click Add Moderators. This brings you to the list of everyone who's enrolled, including lecturers in the Medi Central program course. So if we want to search for somebody, we can put in their name and search for them. So you can see Lisa Papatriano, she's one of our lecturers. If I wanted to make her a moderator, I can click on that and hit submit, and it adds her down there. Now if I want to take her off, just click the X and it gets rid of her. So that's as easy as that. And that's set up, so let's save that session. Okay, so as you can see, we now have the Blackboard Collaborate tutorial is ready to go. You see this purple circle here? This means that it's available to get into. So because, as I said, it's set up for a 15 minutes, you can enter the room 15 minutes before actual session starts. I can actually get into it now, even though it's not quite 9 o'clock yet. Let's say you made a mistake. Oh, you know, I need to change the time. I didn't set the time correctly. You can actually get in here and edit the session. So you can go back, edit session, and it takes you right back here, and you can make changes as you need. Okay, so we'll just save that. Let's see, what else can you invite guests, add a link, do all those sorts of things. So let's go into it. Okay, so here we can see start date, end date, times. And over here is the URL that was generated that you can share. So if we just want to copy this, so you can right click and copy, and then if you want to email it to a student who's maybe interested in hearing it but can't for some reason access it, you can email them the link. That'll take them straight into the Collaborate session. Lecturers may want to send it to other lecturers who aren't involved in the course so that they can come and listen. Numerous reasons why you'd want to share this with a guest. So that's how you allow people who do not have access to LearnLine to join the Collaborate session. So very important, before you start a Collaborate session, you need to make sure you download the Blackboard Collaborate launcher. If you do not have the launcher, you will not be able to get into the session. And you'll have to go through, but it takes about a minute to download and then install. So good idea just to make sure you have that all set up. It's very easy to come in and do. If you need to download the launcher, just come in here, again, online classrooms, just click launch room. And you can see right here, download the Blackboard Collaborate launcher. Okay, but here we have some sessions, so we can go into our tutorial and we'll launch the room. I already have it set up, and then we just open that. does take about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Maybe a minute. And we're going to run the program. So as you can see, it does take a little bit of time to get into the session sometimes. Other times it'll be a bit quicker. Yesterday it was working a bit quicker than it is today. So it's asking me if I want to start recording. We're not going to start yet. Okay, we do have the option to start recording up here. But the first thing you want to do when you get into a room is, this is very important for everyone who enters a room. Start the audio setup wizard. This is for everyone, not just the moderators, but if you join as a guest, anyone. Okay, so we'll go into here and make sure you have the correct speakers chosen. I think it automatically defaults to what's plugged in and what's detected, so that's correct. And we'll play it.
Welcome to the Audio Setup Wizard. This wizard will help you set the
Yep, that's good. Sounds right. Yep. And now we're going to test our microphone. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. I like to turn it up a little bit so that you can see into the yellow when you speak. As you can see, there's a yellow bar there, so that's good. Let's just test it back. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. I like to turn it up a little bit so that you can see into the yellow when you speak. As you can see, that's good. All right, so it cut me off a bit. It does only give you a limited amount of time. So it says it's all set up. Yes, that was correct. And you're now completed. Okay. So as you can see down here, here I am. Now I'm talking and there's nothing happening, because what happens is when you come into a room, this is automatically defaulted to off. So we'll have to click on talk. Now you can see my voice is showing. And you click on video if you'd like the video. However, I don't have a camera, so it's not going to show me. So that's fine. No big deal. Nobody wants to see my face anyway. This screen here, so everyone who's on video and whoever's speaking will show up in the main screen. The other participants who are not speaking will show up in little boxes down here. Whoever talks gets the main screen. Okay, so that's how you know who's speaking, at least with the video. So they'll show up there, and then we want to come down here, make sure these permissions are on. Audio permissions on, video permissions on, chat permissions on, whiteboard, this is the whiteboard permission on. Application sharing, that's this up here, so we'll turn that on. And web tour permissions off, we'll turn that on. So I like to have everything on. As people come into the room, they will show up here. Okay, so you'll have more and more people come. And you can chat down here. So this is a good way to communicate if you don't have a microphone, or if you're having issues. I can't hear anyone. Something like that. So then we can give you suggestions. Have you done your setup wizard? Okay, so this is just a good way to chat back and forth. Sometimes people, like I said, don't have microphones or don't have cameras. That's a good way they can communicate. So there was that thing about raising your hand on entry. You can do things. This is another way for people who can't chat or can't use the microphone. You can raise your hand to ask a question. So you know, it sort of works. People actually have to be paying attention. Same thing with the chat. Sometimes people ask questions and they just don't get noticed. And if there's quite a few people, this tends to scroll through. So whoever's moderating or other people in the room really have to be should pipe up and let the moderator know that there's people with questions. Now sometimes you might want to let somebody finish their thought, but just it does tend to get lost sometimes. So just be aware of that. So we can just turn that off. You can do smiley faces, ha 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 ha, so funny. You can do, yes, that was really good point. I like that. So you can just do some fun stuff there. Um, you can step away from the session, let people know that you're not there, and come back. This is for polls. I won't get into this. It's not really necessary. So up here we have app sharing. So this is if you have some sort of application running on your desktop. Say you have your Word document up and you want to share it with somebody, or you have a video running on your desktop and you want to share it with somebody, you would just click on this. Okay. Find your application that's running. See, currently I only have Firefox and Blackboard running. So if I wanted to share one of these, I would just click on it and click share, and then it would show up in this box here. So I guess I can do it with Firefox share, and you can see now I'm sharing this with everybody, so they can all see my Firefox session. Okay, but I don't need that on right now, so I need to turn it off. Oops. So I'm just going to close it. And we'll go back to here. And you can do web sharing. So if you want to share a website, go to cdu.edu.au/IGCE. And there's the website. There's our homepage. So this is a good way just to, you can go through it, take people through a web tour. So I think that's called web tour. Web tour, that's right. So you can look up the course. Here's the Master of Education International. You can look up publications. You can do whatever you like. We have our annual reports here. Go back to CDU homepage. So it's just a good way to walk people through a website if you need to. So with recording, if you're going to app share, please app share first before you start your recording, and then give it some time. Let the app load. It does tend to take some time to load up, and if you start recording beforehand, it doesn't work so well. So share your application, wait maybe 30 seconds, okay, and then start your recording. Okay, so don't record and then app share. It doesn't work very well. It's hard to explain exactly what happens, but when you try to view it back, you'll see what happens. It's not pretty. So we'll just stop that. We'll go back to the whiteboard. And so if we need to record this session, we just simply click record.
Recording started.
It tells us it started, and now it's recording everything that's going on here. As I said, if you need to load a PowerPoint, this is how you would do it. You would load the content into here. Find your file. So if it were on your desktop, I don't have any PowerPoints, but if you did, you'd go into here, go find your PowerPoint and open it. It actually converts it to another file so that it shows up in this whiteboard. So it's not a PowerPoint anymore. It actually gets converted to something else. And then you use these arrow keys to flip through your slides. So this would take you forward through the PowerPoint, this would take you back, and if you have more than one PowerPoint that you've loaded up, this is how you would select where and what PowerPoint you want to use. Okay, so this is how you navigate the PowerPoint. Okay. All right, so I think that's about it for this. You can see the moderators down here. These are just tools for the whiteboard. I don't really use the whiteboard much. I'm not sure exactly how it would be used. I'm sure some people will find uses for it. Me, I just probably do really bad artwork on it. I'm not even sure how to do that. So yeah, if you need to clear it, then you just clear the page. Okay, takes it out, so you can just delete it or clear it up here. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now. So we just click on that again, and so it's going to stop it.
Recording stopped.
And as you can hear, it stops it. So that's it. That's our session's done. To get out of the session, you simply just close the window. Now it does take about 10 seconds for it to shut down. In the meantime, I'm going to start this back up. And now scheduled sessions. So you can see we still have this session. No, what's this? Sorry. This is an old one. Let's log out. I'm not sure what that was. So let me go back in. Go back into Medi Central. Go to our online classroom. There it is. I'm not sure what that last page was. So as you can see, it's still, because it's not 9:30 yet, it's only 9:05. So we've got plenty of time. So this session is still going on, essentially. You can get back into it if you wanted to. You can still edit things, do all that. So if we go to recordings, it's not going to show up yet. We did a brief recording. You have to wait until the time actually expires. So at 9:30 or 9:31 or 9:32, it might take 5 minutes for it to show up in the recording session. It might even take longer. I'm not entirely sure how long it takes before it shows up in the recordings. Okay, but this is where it will show up in the recording section. And now students, if this is something that you don't want people to hear or see, if you want to make this private, you're going to need to convert it. So as you can see, I've converted this one. That's why it has the little play button. I've converted this one. I've also converted this one. Okay, but these are IGC Wednesday symposiums, and I'm happy to leave these up so that people can see. That's what they're there for. However, I have converted them just so I can put them in other places. I'm in the process of converting this one. That's why it says it's converting. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to find your session, which hasn't shown up here for me yet. Like I said, I have to wait until the session ends. You'll come over here and you'll either choose whether you want the video or the audio, and then you'll just click convert. Okay, so if it were a video, you would also see convert here. All right, and you just click on convert. It'll say this conversion may take some time, please come back later. So it does take a while to convert it. All right, so once it's converted, it then shows this play button. So for instance, we'll show, so it's still sitting in here. It's converted, but it's still sitting in here. So let's go to Lisa's. This is a Wednesday symposium she did. We'll try to start this one. It does take a minute to start up. There we go. Okay, and you can see we can download the video. Okay, you can also download it down here. All right, so that's what you're going to want to do. You need to download the video. So click on download. It'll ask you where you want to save the file. You open it or save it. You want to make sure you save the file somewhere. Okay, so we'll go here, okay, and you can see I already have it in my removable disk, my USB, and I've already saved it. All right, so I've saved this one. So I'm not going to resave it. All right, so we'll go back to online classroom. It does take about 5 minutes maybe to save. It depends on how big the file is. So then we go back into recordings. Now, if you do not want your video to be up there and you've already converted it, then you're going to want to tick this box and click delete. Okay, and this will get rid of it so that nobody else can see it. But you'll still have it on your computer, assuming you have downloaded it after you've converted it. Okay, so those are the steps you need to take. All right, I think that's about it. If you have any questions, please contact myself, or you can contact the IGCE team. So the best way to get a hold of us is to email us at, so that's igce@cdu.edu.au. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.